Hi, my name's Lucky Starr. I'm years old. I was born in New York City, and what can I say about myself? I do porn.
A bit about your childhood. How was it happy?
No, it sucked. This is why my childhood sucked. I grew up in an all-white suburb of Chicago. There are no black people, no Latinos, no other Asians. We were it. So everyone treated us like these aliens fresh off the boat. And yeah, not bitter at all. But everyone just didn't like me, and I don't know why. And I don't know. I just wish I wish my childhood was happier. It was with my family, I guess. Like my parents divorced when I was 11, and then my mom remarried sometime later. And but my childhood, if I remember anything happy about my childhood, was usually like things like vacations, traveling. I was kind of a weird kid. I was all about musicals, and we just run down the street singing songs from The Sound of Music. When people were playing in the park, I was usually in the library reading about musicals. I was weird like that, and to be honest, not much of that has changed.
Right. So you traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you traveled to, or where haven't you traveled?
Wait, for vacation or work? Oh my gosh. Where have I traveled? Okay, internationally, I've been to London, Mexico, Canada, Greece, Italy, France, Thailand, the Philippines, and what do I feel like I'm missing one? I think that might be it. But nationally, I go to New York City all the time. I just went recently to Philadelphia and Atlantic City just for fun.
Where's my cheesesteak?
Oh my God, that stuff's off the charts. And the thing is, there isn't a bad cheesesteak anywhere. No. But that stuff was real good. And Atlantic City was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
There's not a bad cheesesteak anywhere, but which one does Lucky Starr prefer to go get her cheesesteak?
There's this place in this. It's like like in downtown they have that food court in that downtown building. They have one in Philadelphia. It's called Reading Marketplace. And inside, there's all these eateries, but not much seating. But there's just one restaurant inside there called Molly Malloy's. And then you could sit at the bar, have a nice vodka mule, and then I just decided to order the cheesesteak. And it's like one of those things when you bite into it, your eyes roll to the back of your head.
Wow.
Yeah. Just something about like the cheese is all melted and the juices just ooze in your mouth.
I'm hungry.
You know what I'm saying? But I hear a lot of Philadelphia people make it with like the cheddar cheese. I'm a provolone kind of girl, I like the white cheeses as opposed to the really yellow cheeses.
Just add cheese.
Yeah. But that was recently, and I just try to go wherever I can. I've been to New Orleans also this year.
Okay, I just want to change the subject.
Yeah.
Have you ever dabbled with any drugs, any weed?
Weed does nothing for me. It just makes me tired or stupid or makes me want to run to Taco Bell and eat everything in sight. So it doesn't really affect me in a positive way, but I've had needed to use it recently if I couldn't get to sleep.
Let's go eat Taco Bell. I've been wanting to try that double steak.
No, oh God. I gotta do it if I'm like real drunk and real tired and there's nothing else open.
You have any brothers and sisters?
Well, I used to have one brother and one sister, but now I just have one brother, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. My sister passed at the end of April.
Oh.
Yeah, I was at the Exotica convention in Chicago when that happened. So then I was doing stuff like this and people were talking to me and I was acting weird, and that's why. Oh. And she's the only person in my family that knew what I did for a living, and she 100% supported me. Because at first I was like that dorky sister that won't shut up and cried all the time, but then when she found out who I was, I suddenly became the cool sister. So we're talking about how my childhood sucked. My sister kind of added to that. We had a really bad sibling rivalry growing up, but it's also one of those things that you grow up. You forgive, you grow up, but high school, grade school, that was rough.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
How did you get into the adult industry?
Well, interesting, because I was desperate and broke. Nobody goes in the porn, you wind up in porn. But at the time, I was also a huge fan of the industry. But I didn't come to LA to be in porn. I came here for mainstream TV, movies, the whole thing. And I still feel like something's there. Like I feel like all I have to do is make an effort and it will happen. But I also feel like I need to do a lot of other things first before I dive into that. But I went to my restaurant job. I used to wait on tables, and I went there, and suddenly I was laid off. Like I went to look at the schedule for the week, and there was like this blank line next to my name, and I was getting suspended every other day for stupid reasons. And that day, I just walked and looked at my boss, and I'm like, "What? What did I do now?" And then he's just like, "Okay, no, we'll talk about it later." But I couldn't find a job. I was desperate, and then it was like this light bulb went on above my head, and I thought, "Okay, maybe I should just give it a shot." And then it just snowballed from there. Did one scene, another scene, another scene, another scene.
Did you like sex like that before?
I did. Well, here's the deal, because before I moved to LA, I was a huge fan of the industry. And sometimes I'd have my DVDs strewn all over my apartment. So when someone came over, they thought I was like some kind of nymphomaniac, or they think I was trying to imply that I wanted to have sex with them. No, I just like to, I relax, I get home from work, watch a scene, rub one out, and go to sleep. Gosh, what's wrong with people? It's normal for guys. For girls, it's, sometimes it's like, ew, she's a sex addict, yeah.
So back in the day, what kind of scenes did you like to watch?
Ooh, I always like to watch hot Asian girls with hot guys. So some of my favorites were Charmaine Starr, Sabrine Maui, Mika Tan, who later on became one of my best friends.
She's awesome.
She is awesome. She is awesome. I just was
Very
talking
humble.
about, yeah. She's very down to earth. Mika's one of those people that we go in a restaurant and leave the restaurant being friends with the servers, the bussers, the people in the kitchen, the managers. She'd say, "Hey, oh, by the way, I'm doing a comedy set. Why don't you show up?" And by the end of the meal, that's how open and just she is. But
Wait.
she fell off the face of the earth. Huh?
You just mentioned open something.
Open.
I remember you. Did you do some kind of comedy?
Did I? I did not.
Okay.
But I do know other Asian porn stars that did.
Okay.
But I'd love to do comedy. My thing is I don't want to do a set unless it's perfect.
Okay.
Like if I'm not funny, or I don't think it's good enough to put out there. I'll start out with, first of all, making fun of politics, because that's so easy.
All right, how about a joke or two?
Okay, so I said, "Guys, you need to eat the girl's if you don't, you're going to lose her. She has 4,000 nerves on the clitoris, but that's still not as sensitive as a Republican man on the internet." Number two, so did you hear a Filipino named Staten Island? They were on the boat, they were coming over, and someone pointed and said, "Is Staten Island?" Here all week, folks. Don't forget to tip your waitresses. Try the steak, it's great. That's one of my favorites. And the thing is, I was just in New York, and I tried saying that joke to some people, and they're just like, what? And it took them a while, and they're like, "Oh, I get it." You could replace Filipino with just about any ethnicity, but I think it really works with Filipino.
All right, so
Yeah.
how long have you been in the business?
13 years.
You have to have a couple interesting stories.
I have a lot of stories.
Tell me a few.
Oh gosh, you
One,
could
two, or three.
you see it in my new book, I Am Lucky.
You have a book?
Yeah, I have it on the table. Oh, actually, I have the sequel. I Am Still Lucky on the table.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, in that book,
Wait. We've known each other this long. Why didn't you tell me you had a book?
I blasted it all over Instagram, all over Twitter, and where have you
I'm
been?
not always on there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
I'm-
constantly peddling that
I'm just
book.
recently getting back in. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a new Instagram now because they deleted my old one.
Okay, so what's your first book?
I Am Lucky.
Do you have that here with you?
You know what? I sold out all of them at last convention, which was Chicago. And I want to sort of revamp it first because I did a lot of spelling grammatical errors that I'm trying to kind of iron out. And
Tell me a story from that book.
Gosh.
So people can go out and buy. Well, it's still available. You just don't have copies. Right?
Right. It's on Amazon, but the physical copies, I sold out of them, but I have for the sequel because I got more than that. Let's see, a good story about like when I first went into the industry, we'd go on something called Go Sees, which is just like any other modeling agency, and all these girls, sort of go together in a car and you all get to know each other, but you go from one director, producer, casting person to another, and sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's like, especially when I first started in 2009, you have guys chasing you around the desk. Like they think it's a free fall. They think they can just whip out their and you'll suck it because there's a job involved. And only one time I gave in, and I don't want to say his name because he's still currently shooting very actively. And did I get a job? No. But okay, but one of the go-sees, there's a very popular director. He's not in the industry anymore, but we laugh about this story now. And he was chasing, I was 3 girls. He chased one girl around the desk, he chased another girl around the desk, and then with me, he did nothing. Like he was just on the computer, he was like, so you like sex? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay, show me. And I flipped up my skirt and I showed him. Okay, thanks. And then I just like, wait, I don't get chased around the desk? What am I, chopped liver? And when I told that story back at Jim South's office, he was cracking up because I was pissed off that I didn't get chased around the desk. But that was one of my early stories. I know, right? It's not like you didn't want to, but yeah, no, we totally laugh about that now because he was at Jim South's 80th birthday party. And that was surreal because Christy Canyon was there, I was there, and it was like this whole plethora of legends in one room. Yeah, that was surreal. Yeah. Gosh, another story. I'm trying to think.
Please.
Probably my favorite scene was the one I won my award for with Xander Corvus. And the thing is, I wasn't supposed to be in that movie. I wasn't cast in it. Ariela Ferreira decided to leave set last minute in the set where there's a house full of crew and cast and makeup artists and stuff like that, and she bolted. And then all of a sudden, my agent at the time, which was Kevin from Type 9, frantically starts looking for someone that was, of MILF age that was tested. And of course, everyone knows I'm sitting around with a current test with nothing to do, like right now. And they're just like, Lucky, you tested? I'm like, yeah. He goes, can you get to set now? Yeah. Boom. And the interesting thing is I won an award for that role because I put my heart and soul into it, because with me, it's all about the art. It's all about the acting as opposed to
the movie?
A Mother's Love 2. So it was a completely different plot beforehand for A Mother's Love 1, but then when I did A Mother's Love 2, it was just surreal because I wasn't even supposed to be in it. I didn't even know I was the leading lady in it until like later on I got home and the woman tweeted, like, oh, we found our leading lady. I'm like, wait, what? What? I thought I was just like a person in the movie. I didn't know I was the person in the movie. And I wound up winning an award for that.
Without knowing, she did you a huge favor.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She doesn't shoot at all anymore, and I think she lives in the New England area. But yeah, that was. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen the day you wake up, and then something really great happens.
So where can people get your book?
Oh my gosh, Amazon.
Your second book.
Both on Amazon.
Okay. So
yeah.
They can contact you directly and get.
They can. I could even like sign it and stuff like that. But like I said, I want to.
Okay. What if somebody wants to buy your book and wants a signature? How do they contact you?
Oh, email me at clubluckystarr@aol.com.
And what's your IG?
Oh, you know what? That's so funny because they just deleted my last one because it used to be Club Lucky Starr across the board, but now it's Lucky Starr XX.
One more time?
At Lucky Starr, 2 R's, XX. Oops, can't spell today. There we go. There we go.
All right, hold it up. Let's see it.
My book.
And
My
then
sequel to my book.
Show
I
the
am
entrance.
still lucky. I hope you enjoy my journey.